What is this stuff, Ed?
Oh, yeah, this is some green chili queso from Torchy's Tacos. Damn good green chili queso.
Shout out to my pal Mike Ripka, the creator, the original chef of Torchy's Tacos, who sent me some of their new queso. I'm sure people love hearing me eat these chips and queso.
Nothing says good radio like chips and queso. Oh, yeah.
You ever been to Torchy's in Austin, folks? The greatest tacos. They're all over the country now, and their green chili queso. Mike also sent me their Diablo hot sauce, which I put on fried chicken.
It's so good.
It's so good. I love Torchy's Tacos. You can get this stuff at stores, I think, right?
Whole Foods.
Really?
It is coming to Whole Foods starting this week.
Wow.
You can get the signature damn good green chili queso and the Diablo hot sauce at participating Whole Foods locations in Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana. Call ahead before you go. You don't know if it's there. I didn't even know they had Whole Foods in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Let alone tacos. Well, there it is. Mike Ripka, Torchy's Tacos, spreading the queso taco love all over America.
Starting an empire, Mike.
Way to go. So thank you for sending us a case of queso. I'm really enjoying it. I put it on everything. I brush my teeth with it. It's so fucking good.
Go to torchy'stacos.com if you want to see if there's a location close to you. You can grab some merch there as well.
All right.
Love that Torchy's. Get into it, baby. Go there and get the Democrat and the Republican. Eat them both at the same time. It's the closest you're going to get to unity.
Order it trashy. That's the Torchy's way.
Yeah, and you can get the Diablo hot sauce online, but not the damn good queso.
Soon, and hopefully they'll all be in LA soon because I'm addicted to these tacos. All right, one more crunch. All right, Ed, let's start the show.
All right.
Get ready for Jeff Ross. Do you have thick skin? Let's all come together.
Welcome to Thick Skin with Jeff Ross. Life is hard, folks. Life is especially hard for a lot of people right now. But don't worry, it's going to be okay. And even if it's not okay, at least we're getting through it together. I got a great show planned.
Hey! Get out of there.
Ed's yelling at Rambo because he keeps eating plants.
He keeps eating. This is a new thing, and I don't understand why he's doing this. He's eating the dirt out of plants. I had to pump his stomach this morning because had this dog for almost 3 years now. And today I wake up and he ate half a potted plant out of nowhere. He's never done anything like this before.
Maybe the food you're giving him is that shitty. He's like, I'll eat fucking dirt before I eat this shit you're making, Ed.
It was awful. I couldn't believe it.
You know what? Rambo, you want some queso and chips? Come here.
Yeah, try Torchy's, buddy. It's definitely better for you.
Rambo, the rescue dog, he's a good boy, and he's getting along pretty well with my two rescue dogs, Nana Rona, who, she's old, and the vet basically prescribed this little baby German Shepherd for Nana as a companion. So they sent me over, and shout out to Animal Hope and Rescue here in Los Angeles for bringing this little runt, this little cute German Shepherd over. They called her Kalahari, and I couldn't get that right, and she didn't answer to it, and they found her out in the desert, near Reno, so they named her after the desert, Kalahari. And over time, I started calling her Kali and Callie. And then in the end, I said, I'm going to keep this dog. I fostered her for a week, and now I'm keeping her. And I felt like maybe Kalahari will be her given name, her birth name, if you will. Mm-hmm. But she needs a comedic persona, so I'm calling her Nipsey.
Nipsey Ross.
Yeah, because, she's funny, and she's teething. She's nipping at me constantly. She eats everything. I mean, she just loves to chew shit up, so I'm calling her Nipsey, and I'm keeping her.
That's amazing, man. I love her. She's a cute little dog. You've gone full dog. I've never seen anything like this.
I don't know what's come over me, man. I used to be not into dogs, allergic to dogs, not interested in the germs and the whole vibe of walking a dog.
Yeah.
But maybe it's quarantine, and maybe it's just the loneliness of being in the middle of a pandemic and not on tour and just being home alone a lot. It's fun waking up with the dogs. This little Nipsey, she climbs into bed, she kisses me, she rips my face off. The other day I came out of the shower and she lunged at my balls. I had to cover up a little bit. Like, she's still figuring out what's what. A big truck drove by while I was walking her, and she stopped like she'd seen a dinosaur. Everything's totally new to her. It took her a couple of days to get over being too scared to even walk downstairs. I had to carry her down the stairs. And finally, Nana, who also took months to get down the stairs to get the strength to figure it out, Nana went up and down 3 times to show her, and eventually, with the help of some treats, I was able to get Nipsey to learn how to walk down steps, and she did it. Nana has a limp. She has, a bad back legs, so she does it very slowly. So Nipsey imitated Nana and how she, one step at a time, walks down the steps. And now she's picked up that she's actually a puppy and agile, and she runs up and down. She waits for Nana now. When we go to bed at night, the 3 of us walk down steps like a pack. And Nipsey waits for Nana in the middle of the steps and gives her a little kiss halfway, and then runs ahead and runs into Nana's bed and takes a defensive, aggressive stance, I should say, and pretends that she's going to take over Nana's bed, and then Nana grabs her and slaps her around a little bit. It's keeping Nana young, so shout out to Dr. Chang for prescribing this awesome, awesome puppy.
I've never seen a dog become a member of a family so fast. Like, it was just her and Nana get along great, and it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because if I was Nana, I'd just be like, "What is this pain in the ass, biting me in the face, eating my food?"
Right.
But Nana's just cool with it for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, she really is. I don't know. I have a theory that maybe she was a breeder. That's what the vet said. She's probably had a lot of puppies, and they were all probably taken away from her previous owner.
Yeah.
So now she has this little rascal to take care of, who's a puppy. She's only about 7-8 months old, but she's long. I mean, she's like a couple of feet long already. 1.5 feet long, and probably weighs 30 pounds or something.
At least, probably
40
more.
pounds. And
yeah.
Nana loves her. Like, Nana shares her food with her, and they drink together, and they sleep together. And when the puppy gets scared and hides in the closet or yelps, Nana goes and gets her and brings her out and shepherds her back to the bed. And sometimes they kind of wrestle, and I think that they're, I know they're playing because they always kind of smooch right after. But they run up and down, and Nana chases her, and they're also there's a mother-daughter thing happening, but they're friends. I feel like they're also just friends.
Yeah, if there was more mother-daughter, then she'd be trying to nurse off of Nana, and a lot of times dogs will just, even if they're not her baby and like she has to take care of it, all of a sudden will just naturally begin to lactate and be able to nurse. But I don't think that she needs that anymore, so it's not going to happen.
She's a cutie. I'm going to keep her. Look at those big ears.
Just got to keep her away from my damn flip-flops.
Yeah, she loves the shoes, and she eats everything. And, I really was hoping if I ever got a puppy, I'd get a cute one. This one kind of looks like Ted Cruz. She's really got
Mrs. Cruz.
Yeah, she looks like Mrs. Cruz. And I hopefully she'll grow into her ears and her face, but we're getting, I'm no picnic either. Imagine having to wake up looking at me every day. So I feel like, between the 3 of us, You know, it's cute because she's a puppy. She runs around all day. She has all this energy. Nana kind of sleeps most of the time. Then she wakes. But inevitably, when we finally do go to bed, 2, 3 in the morning, the puppy falls asleep like mid-bark. And me and Nana are just sitting up looking at each other. We'll both start like giggling about it because like the puppy just can't hang sometimes. We were watching House of Cards the other night. And there's a scene where I'd never seen the show, and I'm like fascinated. So there's a scene where the president is coming walking down a long hallway, and he's like almost a silhouette, kind of a scary shot of Kevin Spacey coming towards the screen, and this puppy yelped and ran in the closet and screamed like ah, ah, ah! Like she there's something she saw on the TV, like a man, a human coming at her. And,
Kevin Spacey.
And which I thought, right, like this is probably how a lot of people feel when they watch Kevin Spacey in House of Cards. So I was curious, like, did the dog, you know, really get scared? Like, what was that? So I rewound it, and she did it again, but not as scared the second time. She came out. She still ran out of the closet.
Yeah.
But she was okay. She's like adapting to, like, everything's completely new to her. She's never seen anything before.
Well, you know, on Amazon, actually, I got to hip you to this. They have movies for dogs.
Huh.
And you can put it on when you're not here.
Really?
And there's just like 4 or 5 dogs like playing with tennis balls and jumping in and out of the pool and stuff. And I used to put it on for Rambo. You know, I was like, you know, he watches enough of what I watch. I'll throw on a dog show for him.
Right.
And then he'll get up. He doesn't care about anything, you know.
Right.
That. And he'll get up like right on the TV, like he's going to attack the TV. Like he wants to sniff the TV's butt. And then so I'm watching this thing, and then halfway through the movie, because I figured people just put it on and leave the house.
Right.
So no respectable human being has ever watched all of this. Well, I watched all of it. And right in the middle of the movie, the screen goes black and it just says doggy nap time. I was like, these people, they can't even make a full video of dogs playing around. They got to put it in like 20 minutes of black, like the dog knows it's nap time. I was furious. And then when nap time was over, they started like doing random meows, and he started flipping out and going crazy.
What?
And then there was like a squirrel came on TV, and it just like started making crazy squirrel noises, and it was zooming in and out. I was like, what are they doing to our dogs?
The dog's gonna have nightmares. Oh.
So beware of the Amazon dog movie. 30 minutes in, it gets quite scary.
Really? Wow. They didn't mention it was a horror movie for dogs. Wow. What's it called? Friday the tennis ball? What's it called? Rosemary's Squirrel? What are some famous scary movies?
Rosemary's Squirrel is pretty great.
What's some other famous Scream? Is it a Scream? Bark?
Jurassic Park.
I know what you did last summer. Why did you do that last summer?
Nightmare on Heel Street.
Nightmare on Heel Street. Yeah. Come on, one more. Come on.
Oh, what's the
scariest movies ever?
Scariest movies ever? The Shining.
Oh, okay. What else?
Last House on the Left. The Last Bone on the Left.
Last fire hydrant on the left. Don't go there. Don't go there. There's coyote over there. They killed my cousin Larry.
Oh, instead of Jaws, it could be Paws.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's good. That's good. All right. Well, I really am into the dog, and our guest on the show today is a super dog lady, somebody who I call for advice when I have dog questions. That's how much she knows. She's the president of Actors and Others for Animals. You can check them out online. She is seriously like one of the funniest people I've ever met. Her name's JoAnne Worley, and I grew up watching her on Laugh-In. She was just like the funniest person on the funniest show, and I got to know her more recently over the years, and she always works the room effortlessly, makes people happy, and here she is. It's a real treat to get her on the line here. The great legend, JoAnne Worley.
I'm loud, I'm proud that I'm loud, 'cause people can hear me when I'm in a crowd. Those soft-spoken shy folk are really not my folk, 'cause I am a folk who is loud.
Hi, JoAnne Worley. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Jeff? I haven't seen you in ages.
You know, between the plague and the quarantine, I'm doing okay.
Oh boy, I know. I just, as I was thinking, just as I said that, I haven't seen anybody in ages. What am I talking about?
Yeah, well, you know, that's why the beauty of the phone. You know, what did people do before the phone, before FaceTime? We get to still communicate. We don't have to be lonely.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I know what I did before because I just talked really loud.
You know, you're famous for having a loud voice. As a matter of fact, I want my listeners to know we're talking to JoAnne Worley from her kitchen, and she's not even using a phone. We can actually hear her in the podcast.
Oh, God. Well, I was born and raised on a farm. And, you know, there are not people for, you know, acres and acres around. So I didn't hear the word shh, quiet too much. I didn't hear that much. So I could, you know, talk as loud as I wanted. The only thing, when we would go to church on Sunday, and I would sing when everybody sings, and my sister would jab me in the ribs and say, "Is that you? Keep it down." And so from then on, I just mouthed the words to all the hymns.
Wow.
I never sang. I never sang until I was cast in a musical.
What was your first musical?
My very first musical was Hansel and Gretel, Babes in Toyland.
Oh, beautiful.
It was Babes in Toyland. Yeah, and I played you know, the wicked witch. And I remember I had a mole that I pasted on my chin and everything, because I was always, you know, I was a big girl, and so I could, you know, get away with being the wicked old witch. And I've done, as a matter of fact, I've done a lot of those. I did Wicked, as a matter of fact.
Oh wow, yeah, you play. I looked that up today, actually.
Yeah, with Mickey Rooney.
A lot of times, people will try to offer up someone's credits as way of an introduction, and in your introduction tonight, I wasn't able to do that because there's too many. So I just go, this person is a living legend, and not only that, JoAnne, you are one of those people who is always funny. You know what I mean? Never not funny. I'm going to give the audience an example. We were doing a reunion show here in Hollywood for George Slaughter's Laugh-In, one of the greatest TV comedy variety shows ever, for my money. I grew up watching it, and you were one of the big stars on that show, and they somehow got everyone together for a big reunion show, and then they added a bunch of comedians and notable actors and so on, and I got the call, and it was on Netflix. And before you got there, JoAnne, there was a green room full of celebrities. Everybody from Jay Leno to all the big Chelsea Handlers and Sarah Silvermans and Michael Douglas was there. But it was stiff. This green room was really stiff. Everybody was nervous. It was a big live show. People were worried about how they looked. They're worried about their jokes, learning their script. And then you walked in with I believe a pink or red boa, and your wardrobe over your arm, no handlers, and you just walked in the equivalent of an AK-47. You just gunned the room down. You just started working that green room, and everybody broke up, and the whole mood of the room changed, and then the whole show just, there was something lifted and something really cathartic about the whole experience, seeing the newer comedians mixing with the legendary comedians from Laugh-In, and it wound up being this great show. And I think a big reason was your energy in that green room.
Well, that's a very high thank you compliment. Thank you, Jeff. It was called Still Laughing,
Right.
right? And it was for Netflix.
Right.
And Lily Tomlin was there, and Ruthie Buzzy. We were, I think, the only originals that were there. The rest were all these other, as you said, Billy Crystal
Right.
was there, and Rita Moreno. I mean, it was just loaded with, and Jay Leno, and all these big stars.
And Rita
And it was-
Wilson, and I think they had a video from
Rita.
Goldie, and
Yeah.
and George Slaughter was in the front row, and I was nervous.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to do something that if my parents were alive, they would have plotzed if they knew I was doing this. I got to pick out some funny one-liners and do the joke wall, the famous television Laugh-In joke wall, where you pop your head out of a wall and it's a well-timed zingers. Sometimes they're connected, sometimes they're not. But anybody can look this up on YouTube and see the famous Laugh-In joke wall. We recreated it for Netflix. So somehow they had you, me, and Tiffany Haddish come out at the same time. And I was so nervous, JoAnne, and maybe a little hungry because there wasn't a lot to eat in that green room once Jay Leno
No, there wasn't.
ate all the crudité, and and I had my joke all revved up. I'm looking at my card, and I heard my cue. I think you were right before me, and I popped my head out, and I hit it on a wood beam, and I almost passed out. It's funny now, but at the time, I really was like, I'm gonna die doing the joke wall.
Yeah. You could have knocked yourself out. There really is a little finessing to be done with opening those doors, and the timing of opening the doors is very important. You know, you don't want to step on someone else's line,
Yeah.
and you don't want to be too late.
Right.
So you were just you heard your cue, you were ready.
I
I heard whack.
Thump.
Oh boy.
And I did the joke. I got it out. You know, I don't know if it was my best delivery because I was seeing stars. And I'm not talking about you and Rita Moreno. I'm talking about like my head was spinning. And I remember my joke was pretty good though. I said if Cardi B and Sting had a baby, got married, she'd be Cardi B Sting. Which
Yeah.
not a bad one as far as the joke wall goes. It's not exactly Richard Nixon saying "sock it to me," but it was still pretty good.
Well, you know, George always wanted us. That was the last thing that we would film of the show. What would be the joke wall? And George Slaughter always wanted us to. What's the word? Misbehave. Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And quite often there was misbehaving going on behind that wall. Like sometimes Goldie had to giggle because of what was being done to her behind that wall.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh boy, indeed.
Now,
Anyway, yeah.
in all the work that you did, it's interesting. Why do you think Laugh-In endures? Why do you think people still talk about it? Why do you think Netflix wanted to recreate it and honor it like that?
Well, I think it was a wonderful chemistry of the people who were on the show, the guest stars who were just fabulous, like Sammy Davis Jr., Police,
Wow.
and Dick and Dan spearheading it and kind of anchoring it. And even though, you know, they were silly and funny and fabulous, they were kind of the normal people where we could just go and be crazy. And, you know, George let us just do what we wanted to do. And, of course, there were fabulous, fabulous writers. Like, do you know who David Panish was? He was a real crazy guy. I knew him from New York years ago. And they put all the writers in a motel over here in Burbank in a room to do their work, and they started writing on the walls. And George had to have it painted, and he said, "Don't write on the walls anymore. It's too expensive for me to have it painted." So they started writing the jokes on the ceiling. They didn't write on the walls. You didn't say don't write on the ceiling. So you understand why they were in the motel. We were separated from them.
Do you think would you call Laugh-In subversive comedy for the time in the 70s?
No. No,
It
I
was-
don't think subversive is the right word.
'Cause I remember
Maybe
as
the
a kid-
Smothers Brother.
Right. I guess as a kid,
Yeah.
I saw it as if Richard Nixon was on, then there was something going. It seemed like they were trying to put a message through that he was a good guy or something. And when I was a little kid, I don't think I fully understand it. All I went away with was like, oh, even the president watches this show. Even the president has a sense of humor. And
Yeah.
you'd see, you know.
As a matter of fact, Richard Nixon's one of his speech writers was our head writer, Paul Keyes, on Laugh-Ins. So that's how he got on the show, and none of us were around. They snuck him in through a back door at NBC into some little studio, and he did his "Suck It to Me."
I remember one of my heroes, Don Rickles, coming on too, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, they would sick me on Don Rickles. Yeah, I made his life miserable.
Well, good. He deserved it, that hockey puck.
Right.
Such fun. And now, every time I see you at a party, I know you were very tight with my dear friends, Hope and, Mary and Fred Willard. Hope is their daughter, who I just ran into the other night. And, Fred was one of those guys that I always say, he was funny standing still. And
oh, yes.
Whenever I saw you at one of the Willards' parties, whether it was 4th of July, but especially Christmas, you really took over what I would call parlor improv. You would, if somebody was on piano or if you sang a cappella, and I found out I was a comedian by doing that kind of stuff with my family, by just being funny in the moment. And for some reason, you were always, everybody would wait for you to stand up and say anything, JoAnne. What do you think the secret to being funny in the moment is?
Well, being funny in the moment, I'll get to in a minute, but what was kind of the tradition that I would do at the Willards' party is I would pretend like I was just knocking on their door and surprised to see a party going on and say, I'm so sorry. I don't want to disturb you. And they, of course, say, no, please stay, join us. And maybe you'd like to sing something. And I go, oh, no, these people don't want to hear me sing. And, of course, then the people say, come on, sing something. And then I would usually have a very prepared number, a special Christmas ditty that I had written especially for that event. But it was how to be funny. Trust your instincts. Just trust what's coming up out of your gut, because that's usually the best indication that you're on the right track. And if you pause to think about it and say, should I or shouldn't I? Whoops, the moment's gone. It's too late.
Right.
You got to trust what's going on and just go with it.
Not overthink it and just go with it.
Yeah, don't overthink it. If you say, I wonder if people are going to judge me for this, or they're going to think this is, rude or to someone or something, by then it's the timing is wrong.
Sure.
You've got to do it when the first impulse is there. Unless, of course, you're writing a bit, then you think it through and make sure that, things are in order and coming out right. But to be funny in the moment is, I think, trust is is the word.
Well,
trust yourself.
Well, then that adds me to a question I wanted to ask you. Is there a secret? Some comedians, they get stale. Some entertainers, they get corny as they get older. And now I just had a birthday this week, and I feel funnier than ever.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. I know we're fellow Virgos, so that's cool. And what is the secret to staying funny for decades and decades? What is the secret to keeping your sense of humor relevant? Do you read? Is it about working the muscle, JoAnne? What is it?
I guess I have always enjoyed making people laugh. And as long as you truly enjoy that, and I do, and I know you do.
Yeah.
I remember the first laugh I got was indeed in church when I was probably 5 or 6, when they would bring the little kids up out of the nursery for the Christmas program to sing it. And I remember I had gum in my mouth, and I would take it and pull it out until it was a thin string, and then drop it down and swing it back and forth like an elephant's trunk. And it got a laugh in church. Do you know how delicious that is? To get a laugh from the grown-ups in church?
That is
fantastic.
That is a miracle in itself.
I know. And that's pretty heady stuff.
Getting a laugh in church that's water from wine, right? That's that right there. That is a miracle.
That's it. That is a miracle happened. And you might, I don't know if you've ever heard this story. I think I had it in my one-woman show, where I went to a 2-room schoolhouse where the first 4 grades were all in one room, and the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th were in the big room. Mm-hmm. And there was one teacher for each room. And when I moved into the big room, boy, that was big time. And that was back when they believed in corporal punishment. Mm-hmm. And the teacher in the big room had 1.5 arms. I never knew why he lost the bottom part of one of his arms.
Okay.
But when one of the 8th grade boys was acting up, and the teacher said, "Don't you get smart with me," and that meant he was going to take him out back to the school and give him a whooping. And so I remember I trusted, and I raised my hand, evidently at the right time, and he said, "What?" The teacher. And I said, "Isn't that why we come to school, to get smart?" And everybody laughed, and it broke the ugly moment, and he didn't get a whooping.
Ooh. You diffused the situation.
Yeah, the thing is, it taught me that laughter can be healing too. It's sometimes it's necessary.
You're a
to
healer.
Turn things around. Yeah, and a healer, and I didn't know it.
You're a healer. Comics, I do think that we're healers when we get it right. And you also have this reputation, because I know you a little bit socially through our pal Bernie Shine and through some of our other friends. You're so nice, JoAnne. Now, you love people. You love animals. Can I ask you something? Is it really worth being nice anymore? Is it even still worth it? The world's so divisive. People are so mad at each other. Is nice... Are we finishing last? Are the nice guys finishing last, JoAnne? The nice gals, the nice guys? Or do we have to tough it up and be mean? Can you give me some hope that nice still works?
Yeah, I think it's more necessary than ever, to be nice to each other and considerate of each other. But it seems as though we're not, as we've talked about, we are not having that interaction with other people as much. And when we do have that opportunity, we should, really make a point of being kind to each other and considerate, and all those good things. That instead of getting angry at people for not wearing their mask,
Some of these people, the mask makes them look more attractive, if you ask me.
Oh, you're absolutely right. A lot of people need the mask. Well, all women have to make up is their eyebrows and their eyes. Don't have to do the rouge, the lipstick. Don't have to powder your nose. No, it saves a lot of time.
What kind of mask are you wearing these days? Are you wearing a frilly? I picture you in a red frilly mask with sequins.
Yes, as a matter of fact, the Magic Castle, Larson's wife, Arlene, is a wardrobe person, and she sent me a fabulous sequin-studded chic mask with a shield that has pink and silver sequins as a crown around it. Very chic, very fashionable. And her, it's not a business. What she's trying to encourage is all the costume designers, to make really lovely, fashionable masks and shields for their clients, to make fashionable, be safe and fashionable at the same time.
Well, the way you describe it, it sounds not just fashionable, but maybe you could play goalie for Liberace's hockey team or something.
Yeah, I think I'd need a stronger shield, a little a real plexiglass maybe. But anyway, it's a wonderful idea, and they are perpetuating that even as we speak. Can we talk about animals too?
Well, I was just going to bring
I
up.
bet we can.
I was going to say, actorsandothers.com is something that I was looking up today. It's something you are now have taken over from at some point. Doris Day started this charity where they help Southern California spay and neuter their pets since 1971. I mean, this is a beautiful thing. This is a really, really special, beautiful organization, actorsandothers.com. You can not just donate, but you can make dedications on there for people and donate money to help spay doggies. And I'm definitely on board
doggies
with
and kitties.
and kitties, of course. And I'm especially on board with this because I just adopted, as I've told you off the air, a puppy. Just last week, I got a 7-month-old shepherd, German shepherd, and I was going to hopefully try to get some advice from you because I know you're a longtime pet lover.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, maybe just give your new puppy lots of love and lots of toys, and have several toys for the teething, and have a lot of water bowls around.
Oh,
not just one in the kitchen. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and another one outside for my doggie. God forbid it should have to walk too far to get a drink of water.
Now, does Actors and Others, can I get neutered there? Because I've been thinking maybe I should get neutered.
I think you would qualify as an animal. Yeah, you probably could.
My cousin Ed is cracking up.
I was going to say we also do help with the medical, because now veterinarians are as expensive as the humans going to the hospital, as I'm sure a lot of you know,
right?
Who happen to be listening or who have animals and you go to the vet, their bills are so expensive, and we help with that too. Actors and Others for Animals. How you want to hear how they got that funny name?
Yeah, please.
Okay, an actor who was going to work with his wife in the car, and somebody threw a dog out the window of the car in front of them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. They, of course, stopped the car, picked up the dog, and went to the vet and dropped off the dog, and then went on to shoot their film. So when they picked up the dog, all the people on the set said, they were telling them, and they said, well, I want to contribute to that bill. And everybody started giving money, the writers, the director, the cameraman, the wardrobe people. So that's how it became Actors and Others for Animals.
That's beautiful.
And it was, of course, And how I got to be president is if you bring enough money into an organization, they're going to make you president. and I did a tour of shelters across the country for Ralston Purina, and they gave a lot of money to Actors and Others for Animals.
Oh, that's
and
beautiful.
That's how a lot of people know that's how it works.
It was you, JoAnne, who said, my goal in life is to be the person that my dog thinks I am.
Oh.
That is a great quote.
Yeah, and I have a pillow to that effect. I'm looking at it right now. My goal, cross-stitched.
Well,
my goal in life is to be the kind of person my dog thinks I am. And then right next to it is another pillow that says, life without dogs? I don't think so.
Well, I named my puppy Nipsey because she's always nipping at me, and I love Nipsey Russell. So I thought Nipsey would be an appropriate, and I wanted her to have a persona, a comedic persona, so that when she acts up, she's doing it, for comic effect. And I do love this dog so much, and I know your dog's cute. I know all puppies are cute, but I'm going to tell you a cute story if you'll indulge me for a second, JoAnne.
Okay.
Here's how cute my puppy is. I mean, I don't know if any dog is this cute, but I had a birthday this week, and a few friends brought a birthday cake over. And when we went outside, we left the cake on the counter. We went outside, to social distance, and I came back
Yes.
inside a little while later, and the cake was on the floor, and the puppy was staring at me with a guilty look. She ate the entire cake. About 3 hours.
No.
About 3 hours late. No chocolate. Don't panic. So
Good.
It wouldn't hurt her too bad. About 3 hours later, she. How do I say it? She just barfed gallons of cake barf all over my bedroom floor. And I put on some music, and I put on a mask so I wouldn't gag. And as I'm cleaning up at 3 a.m., all this cake barf from my cute new little puppy, Nipsey, all I could think is, man, is she so cute. I love her so much.
Oh, how wonderful. How wonderful. I'm so happy for both of you.
This is my first dog. I have this old Nana dog, this old German Shepherd who limps along, and now I have this puppy. I went my entire life without dogs, and now I'm obsessed with dogs. What do you think it is, JoAnne? What's happening to me? What is it about animals and people that makes this love so rich?
Well, it's because your heart is melting. It's melting, melting, and it's opening up, and the doggy is the vehicle.
Yeah, something's good.
For
She's so cute.
for your love and for your growth.
All she eats is dog food and leather Ferragamo shoes. She loves those too. She loves to eat a pair of shoes. I have to break her from these habits.
How do you spell her name? Is it with an M as in Mitzi or an N as in Nipsey?
Nip, Nipsey, Nipsey, like Nipsey Russell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And she's a nipper. She likes to chew. She's a puppy. She's chewing
teething.
up my arms. She's teething. Correct.
Yeah. Oh, bless her heart.
She's a real teeth.
Oh. Yeah. Does she have a collar?
She does. She does have a collar, and I've just ordered her a custom one that says Nipsey that'll be here soon.
Yeah. Well, if she's a rescue, she probably has a chip in her, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's for both of you.
I can't encourage the fans listening to check out Actors and Others for Animals. It's actorsandothers.com, and it's a cool website and a good cause. And our friend JoAnne Worley here is the president of this organization because she's done the time, she's done the tour, she's raised the money, but there's always new dogs and new cats that need neutering and spaying, and you got to get in there
and other things.
And mention thick skin. Mention that you heard JoAnne on the podcast, so she knows that her outreach is working. So she knows that you people, our people, are on it. The thick skin fans. It makes me so happy. JoAnne,
Thank you for that.
You're such a cool person, and there's a couple questions that are a little non sequitur, but I've been obsessed with asking you. And when I see you at parties, it's never appropriate to ask you. I wear fedoras when I perform. I love a good hat on stage. It makes me feel like a superhero, like a suit. It adds something to me. And I noticed you always wear a very fashionable hat or headpiece of some kind. Do you think that adds to your freedom as a performer? Do you think it gives us something, or am I dreaming that?
Well, you know why? I'd always done feathers.
Yeah.
And when I knew we were going to be doing this Keep Laughing tribute, I knew that we'd be sticking our head, out of the joke wall. And what's on your head? So I put feathers on my head to have them so they would be visible.
Right.
Because that's the part that comes out through the wall. I didn't know, the other stuff that we would have, there would be some full-length stuff, and then I had to match it up. Actually, I cut off part of the boa I was wearing and put it on my head. You could do that. You could pull that look off.
Maybe I think I might. The only other real boa wearer that I knew, I was I was in New York it was actually the day before 9/11. I was at I think it's called the Carlton, not the Ritz Carlton. It was another my brain's freezing. Another fancy hotel up near the Friars Club, and I dropped a buddy off after an event, and I was just standing in the lobby, and Elizabeth Taylor came through the revolving doors of this lovely, lovely hotel. And she had two young men sort of accompanying her home. I don't know if they were her friends or a security detail, obviously, but one of the biggest stars in the world, Elizabeth Taylor. She walks right up to me and just beelines across the lobby, right up. And I was dressed well. I had a suit on. I'd been out that night. And she walked right up to me and she said, "Oh, aren't you sweet looking?" And she took her boa and she slapped me across the face with it.
Oh, that little minx.
And she looked at me with those famous, gigantic blue ocean eyeballs, and I melted. And I said, "Oh, thank you, Miss Taylor. You look so beautiful tonight as well." And that was it. It was my little boa moment with another boa queen like yourself.
How wonderful for you. That's a birthday present.
That was a lovely one. And I like to celebrate life. That's a big part of my birthday, was seeing friends, and some friends at the Comedy Store threw me a surprise party, and it's been a really up weekend. But this is a very tough time for a lot of people. And this podcast, JoAnne, the motto of it is about having thick skin, and I say life is hard, but don't worry, we're getting through it together. Now, I ask all my guests this. Whenever you're feeling down, JoAnne, and you're a very positive person. You're a very upbeat person. The many, many times I met you, you're the life of the party. But everybody gets down once in a while. And I ask all my guests this to try to maybe spread some wisdom. Is there something when you are having a blue day or a blue moment, is there something that drags you out of it, or that you can go to pull yourself out of it?
I wouldn't go there.
Huh.
I would not go there. If I'm, feeling, as we're all going through now, we're deprived of things that we can't do. I just got Netflix. Wait a minute. That's the answer. Duh. Why didn't I start with that? Just turn on Netflix. It's really simple.
Netflix and Shrill with JoAnne Worley. I'd like to recommend Still Laughing on Netflix. Maybe you should check that one out. You're very funny at it.
Well, it's a good show, and I've gotten a lot of positive response about the show.
Of course, I did too, and I saw it cut together, and I thought that George and the whole team over there did a great job. This is so fun having you. This won't take long, and if we pulled together 3 quick topical stories from our news feed that we were hoping you would just stick with us, and maybe we could get your take on. I'm gonna bring in my dear cousin Ed, who prepared some touchy subjects. Here we go.
Touchy subjects. All right. Hello, Miss Worley. How you doing?
Fine. How are you?
I am phenomenal. It's an honor. Well, listen, we have some touchy subjects here, and the first one is coming to us from TMZ. Trick or Treat is canceled in L.A. this year.
I know. Yes.
No. What am I gonna do?
But there was a public outcry, and the county walked back the announcement, claimed that although trick-or-treating is highly discouraged, they will not actually ticket anyone for doing so. Parties are still illegal and are punishable by fines, but you can trick-or-treat, but they're suggesting you don't.
This is interesting because everybody's wearing masks anyway, so why can't you trick or treat?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's usually holes in those masks.
What do you think, JoAnne? Are you going to have trick or treaties if they knock on the door this year, or are you going to fill them with some treats, or are you going to send them away?
Well, it's the old 6 feet. You can't hand out candy into their little pumpkins that they're carrying or into their hands and still maintain the 6 feet distancing.
So you're going to have to throw it at them.
The other thing is in your driveway, you might put up a table with some different kinds of treats and put people on their honor system.
Oh, okay. I like
and
that.
And maybe, obviously not for grown-ups. Tell grown-ups, no. You buy your own candy. This is for the kids. And just, and they can go trick-or-treating, but they don't have to knock on the door to do it. It's in the driveway. It's right there. All they really want is their candy.
What if we got you a bag of Jolly Ranchers and a slingshot?
You could just shoot them at the kids right into their bag.
Oh.
Well,
that sounds a little violent to me, but I opt for the, some containers of, candy on a table in the driveway.
I like that plan a lot. It reminds me, my friend Richard put up a post, and I reposted it on my social media about how a lot of people are encouraging their friends and neighbors to use the money they were going to spend on Halloween candy to donate it to a local food bank or homeless shelter.
Or to actorsandothers.com.
I like that idea, too. Why shouldn't the animals benefit from Halloween for a change? Of course. I like it. You're going to keep dressing your dogs and cats up in stupid hats for Halloween. Let them share in some of the love. What's next, Ed? What's next?
All right, are you ready for this? Engineers test a plane where you can ride in the wings.
What?
That's right. Engineers recently tested out a new jet called the Flying V. On this new model, passengers are able to sit in the wings of the plane. Even though the plane was tested without passengers, its success is a sign that human trials will begin. And if successful, it could change a lot of the commercial airline industry.
So more passengers because the planes will be wider. I mean, the wings will be. Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds uncomfortable.
What do you got to lay down?
Well, right now, the biggest concern so far has been that takeoff and the landing. The jet's motion is so rocky that engineers fear this could lead to extreme motion sickness of its passengers.
You imagine sitting in the terminal and they make that announcement. If anybody would like to give up their seat, we're overbooked. We can stuff you in the wing. Sorry, folks. All the overhead compartments are full. All the seats are full. You could either ride in the bathroom or we could stick you in the wing. Wow, I don't know about that one, Ed. That seems like, the planes are empty as it is these days. So that's a tricky one. Shout out to all the essential workers at LAX here in Los Angeles and all the airports who are working through COVID. I met a flight attendant the other day, and she's really, people are nervous. People are still going to work while we get to sit home. I'm luckier than most, but shout out to all the people at the airlines who are working through all this. What's next, pal? What's next? Give me one more good one.
All right. John Khalis.
Love him.
He did an interview with The Standard in UK. I said, "Can you tell me a woke joke?"
A woke joke,
yes.
Right.
The 80-year-old Monty Python star is criticizing political correctness in comedy. On BBC Today's radio show, Khalis stated that a woke joke isn't going to be very funny and that political correctness is stifling comedy. PC stuff started out as a good idea, which is, let's not be mean to people, and I'm in favor of that despite my age, Khalis said. The main thing is to try to be kind, but then becomes a sort of an indulgence in the most oversensitive people in your culture, the people who are most easily upset. Khalis then challenged comedians to tell him one woke joke.
Do you have thoughts on this woke culture or very sensitive comedy culture, JoAnne Worley?
You're saying woke joke, not wolf.
Woke.
I was thinking of wolf jokes. Woke.
A wolf
I
joke.
said, well, I don't think I know a good wolf joke.
You know, when we say woke joke, we mean something that is so unoffensive that everyone could laugh at it. But generally, those types of jokes aren't funny.
They're not funny.
If a joke
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
offend somebody somewhere, the first thing I ever learned is if it doesn't offend somebody somewhere, it's not funny. Right now, there's a farmer whose chicken died crossing the road, and it's just not funny to him. You know?
No, not.
You know,
The chicken is roadkill. That's not funny. Not funny.
yeah. So have you ever felt like you've gone too far, JoAnne? Have you ever regretted a
Never.
joke? Never. Love
Never
that.
have gone too far. Even if I have, I believe that I have gone as far as I needed to get the laugh.
Ah, I love that.
You know?
That's wisdom.
I know you know. Yeah.
That comes from confidence, and that comes from, as you said earlier, following your instincts.
Exactly. If it's something that I know that would make me go, ew, that's not nice,
Right.
then I wouldn't do it.
Right.
It wouldn't do. And that's why a lot of the comedy that I do is more physical than words, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I see that, and that comes natural to you. You know, you're a very agile performer. I love watching you work all the time. The fact that you came on our podcast today and shared your wit, your wisdom, and your love for animals. I would love someday for Nipsey and Cupid to have a doggy date. When the smoke clears and the COVID goes away, I'd love for the dogs to get to know each other the way we know each other, JoAnne.
Yeah, that would be nice. And it would be nice to see you. As a matter of fact, if we were going to meet in your studio or your backyard, I was going to bring you this very special birthday card. So now I'll have to mail it to you. If the post office is still working.
Oy vey is mere. I had the postal. I went outside on Saturday, and you couldn't even really breathe outside, you know, up here in the hills.
I know.
And my postal carrier, who's also named JoAnne, we had a nice chat.
Oh, good.
We had a nice chat about her, and she said that all the neighbors and all the people, all her customers, everyone on her route is being extra kind and extra sweet to the postal workers lately. So
Good.
I would like to give a shout out to JoAnne and all the USPS people all over America holding it down. Make sure our mail through what is it? Through sleet, through hail, will never appointed rounds. Let's add wildfire smoke to that one because they are out there doing it and
they are essential.
Essential.
They are very essential. Yeah.
And so is comedy, you know, especially in these times, you know.
Yeah.
Getting a few laughs with you today made me feel so good. And nobody's had a hug in a long time. Nobody gets to go to comedy shows right now. They rely on funny friends like us to put it out there. So, JoAnne Worley, I really do adore you. I'm sending you a big, giant, over-the-phone, virtual air hug right now.
And it right back at you. And when I send you your birthday card, I will enclose a wolf joke.
All right. Go to actorsandothers.com. Check that out. And JoAnne Worley, high five. You're the best. Thank you.
You're the best, Jeff. And nice talking to you too, Ed.
Good talking to you too, Ms. Worley.
All right. Lots of love. Give Cupid a hug for us. Bye now.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I'll call you later. Bye. That was so cool.
That was very cool.
Thank you, JoAnne. She's a real deal.
I didn't know how to work it in, but she's the wardrobe in Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
I love that. It was like this huge movie for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love. She was. I had no idea. Makes me so happy. She just. Of course, it was her.
Yeah.
It was like, oh! You
Right,
know, it was so
right.
much fun.
Right. Right. You know, we celebrated some good times with JoAnne, but there's always loss. There's no getting around it, folks. There's just always loss. It's time for Roast in Peace.
Ronald Khalis Bell, one of the founding members and saxophone player for Kool The Gang, passed away this week. He was actually one of the band's main writers. He penned Celebration, Jungle Boogie, and Summer Madness.
Wow. Ronald, time for a celebration of your life. This blows. Saxophone player and co-founder of Kool The Gang, Ronald Khalis Bell. Once I heard that the writer of Jungle Boogie passed away, I was surprised to hear it wasn't from malaria. All I know is when he gets to heaven, it will be Ladies' Night. Oh, what a night. His biggest hit, Celebration, is like the African-American Hava Nagila. Celebration has 130 million plays on Spotify. More people have heard that song than have heard the words, I love you. Khalis had 10 kids. Where did he live? A giant shoe? 10 children. He had 10 children. Wow. When his wife told him to start wearing protection, he started fucking her with a seatbelt on. He was so cool, Kool, that he was legally dead years ago, according to his body temperature. Roast in peace, Ronald Khalis Bell.
I'm having some more queso.
That was good. Jeff Beecher's got me signing up for Stereo. It's kind of fun.
What is it?
You go on and it's like a party line where you can listen to cool conversations about all kinds of shit. You can swipe from conversation to conversation. And I think I'm just going to go on and let people make fun of me.
That's amazing. Are you just as Jeff Ross on there?
Yeah, at Jeff Ross. Stereo. It's free. It's fun.
That's cool. I mean, Party Line's is like the one thing that hasn't transferred over yet to right now.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't call it that. You know, it's an app. It's social media.
Yeah.
But it's to me, it's like, you know, you can lay in bed and listen to two like weirdos talk about whatever.
It really will help just utter boredom, especially if you're quarantining by yourself.
Right. It breaks up quarantine, and it's not dummies. It's not like for kids. It's like grown up conversation.
Yeah, and it's not a podcast. It's like it's casual. Just like getting.
I kind of like it. Stereo. Download the app. Mm-hmm. It's fun. All right. Thanks for listening to Thick Skin, you guys. I mean, this is cathartic for me, and appreciate you, Ed.
Yeah, appreciate you too, my man.
Thanks
Happy
for
birthday.
Thank you for cooking and making everybody so happy on my birthday.
Always, it's my favorite thing to do, man.
Yeah, it was really special. And shout out to the Comedy Store for that surprise party. That was really fun.
It was very nice.
Yeah, Nicole Buchanan. The whole joke was that I wanted to go see Nicole's set, which she didn't really even have a set. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, that was the trick to get me to go by the Comedy Store to the patio. And wound up, Nicole did go on. She was great. And I also went on and just made fun of every table on the patio and left.
That's great.
It was fun. It was really fun. And, I tried to do a few social distance, small get-togethers, just a few people, so that, the last thing you want to be doing is having a party or inviting people somewhere, and then they get COVID and you just look like the biggest jerk.
Well, that's the thing, is now you get to have 10 birthday parties instead of one huge one.
Right. And then I actually get to talk to people.
Yeah.
As opposed to running around talking to a million people.
Yeah, no, so it's nice.
No, it's been fun. It's been fun. Tough times, but I'm a lucky guy.
Absolutely, man. I tell you what, everyone go to roastmastergeneral.com. You'll find anything Jeff Ross there. Your emotional support human shirt, buy it there. Go to the merch page. It's all sitting there. You can also get your I'm Offended. My People Who Are Always Offended baseball shirts are still available. Check that out. Also, you got to check Jeff out on Cameo. These things are hot.
Fun. Too much fun.
They've been killing it. You did a bunch of fantasy football drafts, a couple birthdays, a wedding last week.
Yes.
It's literally any occasion for people with thick skin.
Can you imagine playing a video of me making fun of you at your wedding? I mean, it really is for weirdos, but there's a lot of weirdos out there who somehow want to integrate roasting into their regular lives.
Yeah. And you will be as mean or as nice as they like.
Every time I think roasting's dead and it just like no one can take a joke anymore, some weirdo hits me up and is like, yeah, my buddy's getting his foot amputated. Can you make a video? I was like, can I?
Listen, you can rate and review us on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube page, email us at thickskinwithjeffross@gmail.com, Twitter at thickskincast, Instagram thickskinwithjeffross, real Jeffrey Ross on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at EddieTunes _ on Twitter, EddieTunes regular on Instagram. And go check out the trailer to my movie, How America Killed My Mother. Short documentary. It's going to have a limited release through October. Right before the election, coming out October 2nd on Vimeo. So keep an eye out for that. And also check out The Brighter Side, available on the Last Podcast Network. Too much fun, buddy. Thank you for doing this again.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, Ed. Thank you to everybody out there. We'll see you next time on Thick Skin. Life is hard, but don't worry. We're getting through it together. Damn, I'm in New York, talking the talk. I'm doing the podcast, full tank of gas. I got Cousin Ed and Gary too. I got the thick skin blues. Having a drink. My armpits stink.
Hey.
I'm feeling so good, I'm in the hood. I don't want it to end. I got the thick skin blues.
Thick skin blues.